Once upon a time, in the heart of a bustling city called Hanoi, there lay a shimmering lake surrounded by lush trees and vibrant flowers. This lake was known as Sword Lake, or Hoan Kim Lake, and it held a story so magical that it had been whispered through generations, captivating the hearts of children and adults alike. Long ago, during a time of great turmoil, Vietnam was under the rule of a fierce invader. The people lived in fear, their spirits dampened by the weight of oppression. Among the villagers was a young man named Leloir. He was brave and kind-hearted, always dreaming of a day when his homeland would be free from the clutches of tyranny. Leloir was not just an ordinary villager. He was destined for greatness. One day, while wandering through the woods, Leloir stumbled upon an ancient sword, glimmering under the sunlight. It was unlike any sword he had ever seen, its hilt adorned with intricate carvings of dragons and phoenixes. As he reached out to touch it, a magical aura enveloped him. Suddenly, a voice echoed in his mind, telling him that this was the Sword of Heaven, a gift from the gods meant to help him in his quest to free his people. With the sword in his grasp, Leloir felt a surge of courage. He rallied the villagers, igniting a spark of hope in their hearts. Together, they formed an army, ready to fight for their freedom. Day after day, they trained and strategized, and as the sun set over the horizon, their resolve only grew stronger. The day of the great battle arrived, and the air crackled with tension. The villagers faced the invaders with bravery, and Leloir, wielding the Sword of Heaven, led the charge. The sword glowed brightly, illuminating the battlefield as if the stars themselves had descended to lend their light. With each swing, Leloir felt the strength of his ancestors flowing through him, guiding his hand and empowering his spirit. The battle raged on, and it seemed as if victory was within reach. But just when hope was at its highest, the leader of the invaders, a giant of a man with a heart as cold as ice, stepped forward. He laughed, mocking the villagers and their efforts. "You think a mere sword can save you?" he bellowed, his voice booming across the battlefield. Leloir stood tall, unyielding in the face of the enemy. "It is not just the sword that gives us strength," he declared, "but the love for our homeland and the unity of our people." With that, he charged forward, the Sword of Heaven gleaming like a beacon of hope. The clash of steel rang out, and the villagers fought valiantly, inspired by their leader's bravery. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Leloir faced the giant. The battle was fierce, and it seemed as though the outcome hung in the balance. But with one final mighty swing of the sword, Leloir struck down the invader, and with that blow, the tide of the battle turned. The villagers erupted in cheers, their spirits soaring as they pushed the enemy back, reclaiming their land. With the invaders defeated, the villagers celebrated their newfound freedom. Leloir was hailed as a hero, and the story of his bravery spread far and wide. But the Sword of Heaven had one last gift to bestow. As Leloir returned to the lake where he had first found the sword, he felt a pull, as if the water was calling to him. He approached the edge, and to his astonishment, a golden turtle emerged from the depths, its shell glistening in the sunlight. The turtle spoke with a voice that resonated like thunder. "Brave warrior, you have proven yourself worthy. The Sword of Heaven has fulfilled its purpose, and now it must return to the lake to rest." With a heavy heart but a spirit filled with peace, Leloir nodded. He gently placed the sword into the turtle's waiting claws, and as he did, the sword transformed into a brilliant light, illuminating the lake and surrounding trees. The turtle then dove deep into the water, and the lake shimmered with a magical glow. From that day forward, the lake became a symbol of bravery and unity, a reminder of the power of hope and the strength found in love for one's homeland. The villagers built a beautiful temple by the lake, honoring Leloir and the golden turtle, ensuring that the legend would never be forgotten. As the years passed, the story of Sword Lake became a cherished tale, passed down from parent to child, each generation adding their own touch to the legend. Children would gather by the lake, listening wide-eyed as their parents recounted the bravery of Leloir, the magic of the Sword of Heaven, and the wise turtle that guarded the lake's secrets. And so, the legend of Sword Lake lived on, a wonderful bedtime story that inspired dreams of courage, friendship, and the unyielding spirit of a people united. As the stars twinkled above, children would drift off to sleep, their hearts filled with the hope that they too could be brave like Loloi, ready to face any challenge that came their way, knowing that the magic of the lake would always be with them. In the end, it was not just a story of a sword and a battle. It was a tale of love, hope, and the belief that even the smallest among us could rise to greatness. And every time the moon cast its silver glow over Sword Lake, the whispers of the past would echo softly, reminding all who listened that legends are born from the hearts of those who dare to dream.